Hello and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe here on HeflaTV Hitbox 2. I'm Grandis and for this best of two, we'll be joined by Coucher. This is going to be House of Gamers versus Lions. The last match from yesterday is going to be replayed between these two teams, and although Lions came ahead 2-0 yesterday, I definitely think House of Gamers have a chance to take a game off of them.
I would hope so, at least, just because House of Gamers, they are at the moment, I think, 0-6, so they are or were unable to win a single game yesterday. So if they want to have any kind of chance of advancing to the playoffs, they more or less have to win, I think, almost every single one of their games. But, well, House of Gamers, I think, against Lions, I didn't see the games that well, but at least game number 2 was, or one of the games at least, was rather even-ish. So they definitely have a chance here, and, man, we'll see. But looking at the bans, I mean, it's definitely not what we see usually.
Yeah, I know that House of Gamers played with a Tinker yesterday. Slashstrike did a decent job with it, and it was in the last game versus Lions, and it was very close because they had that Tinker in order to Turtle, so I suppose it makes sense there. Also, the global pressure is kind of nice, but honestly, I don't think that hero deserves that ban slot. It's going to leave a lot of heroes into the pool, like the Brewmaster and Death Prophet Scarth Mage have also been untouched, not to mention the Razor.
Oh, and that's, I mean, unfortunately, you can ban out only 2 heroes, so a little bit sad, but Lycan, of course, I think Lions, they played it at least in 3 games out of the 6 yesterday, and they won every single game with the Lycan as well. So, Lycan definitely is a hero that Lions like to run at the moment. Era is pretty good at it. The House of Gamers now, do they go for the Scarf Mage to try to deal with the Brewmaster? I mean, I've seen a couple of Doombringers kind of just resurge into the picks as well here, but what do you think they're going to go for?
Reserve time.
Honestly, I'm not so sure. They tried several different approaches to the draft yesterday, and I'm not sure which one they're going to settle on today. Lions very highly praised the Tidehunter, so maybe House of Gamers are going to decide to take that away from them. If they got their hands on it, I'm sure that Lions would be pretty happy about it. I don't think you can really go wrong with the Death Prophet Scarth Mage opening, or just picking up your 2 supports, but as far as Slashstrike's performance on the Razor yesterday, it was very lackluster. They're going to start out with a straight-up Visage Draw.
Radiant's
Wow, that I have to say I didn't really expect to come out, especially if the Death Prophet is still in the pool. Death Prophet is just such a crazy strong hero. I did see Commander Mina starting with a Visage Throw against House of Gamers themselves, I think, yesterday in game number 2. So maybe House of Gamers, they kind of like the draft and want to adapt it for themselves. Of course, it's not like you cannot win against Throw and Visage. Yes, it's a pretty strong combination, but you have to be able to execute it as well. And Lions, well, Brewmaster is definitely going to be good. Gust may or may not help out in certain situations, just getting the silence on the Brewmaster, delaying the Primal Split or something. But Lions themselves now, do they have the space to squeeze in a Death Prophet, or is it just past that already and they're going to have to ban it out in the second phase?
Honestly, I'm not so sure. Right now, Lions have plenty of picks in order to deal with this Visage Draw, however, and Brewmaster is already pretty good at that. A decent hero to get up in the face of Draw Ranger and doesn't really mind that much. The extra damage is going to be really annoying for the Brewlings, but I like this opening coming out from Lions. I think it's well equipped to deal with a Visage Draw. Although they're fairly damage light, the amount of control they're able to put onto both of those heroes is pretty immense, and there's going to be a point in the game where once the Blink Daggers come out for Titan Brewmaster, whenever they have their ultimates online, House of Gamers need to be incredibly scared.
Oh, they most certainly do. I mean, just Tidehunter seems to be such a dominant hero at the moment as well. I think he should be the most popular offlaner at the moment, just because double damage, it's just way too strong to handle almost. At least when you have the blink as well.
5 seconds.
There used to be a time where Tidehunters used to build mech a little bit more often before going for the blink, but these days it's almost every single Tidehunter just blink first, just to have the positional advantage.
Yeah, and that advantage is huge, especially when you're dealing with the drone. Draw Ranger might consider going for a Blink Dagger of her own, but it's generally more a defensive tool than an aggressive one. Just making sure you find the perfect spot in the team fight to get your damage off, which is honestly very important. I like this Vengeful Spirit Band coming out from Lions, despite still having some really high caliber supports left in the pool. Vengeful Spirit and Visage together is pretty absurd when it comes to damage, and synergizes as well with the Draw Ranger as well. Despite being a very squishy supporting duo, they still have plenty of picks in order to beef up their lineup. Although it's nice to have all 5 heroes on your team getting that extra damage from the Draw Aura, I like to see teams pick up something along the lines of a Centaur or the Tidehunter Brewmaster, just something to soak up some attention on the front lines.
Oh man, the Vengeful Spirit definitely made sense as a ban. And I think almost every single team would have banned out the Vengeful Spirit, having seen the Visage and Draw Ranger to begin with. House of Gamers, they could still go for some extra auras if they really want to, although I highly doubt we're going to see a Beastmaster or something
10
like that.
seconds to go.
But, I mean, the supports, House of Gamers already taken out the Chikiro.
Seconds.
It's just really strong support. Liquid Fire is so hard to deal with. And, well, a Viper, I was kind of expecting another support to be banned out, but taking out the core instead. Of course, that would have been just a third tanky core for Lajons.
Yeah, right now, pretty much most of the top tier supports are still left in the pool. You have Skarath Mage, which might be a choice for House of Gamers, and you also have a lot of your stunning supports. Outside of the Vengeful Spirit and Ogre Magi, Earthshaker and Sand King are both there, and I'd like to see an Earthshaker maybe from House of Gamers, offering them a little bit more teamfight potential, as well as a nice defensive pick to secure this Draw Ranger.
10 seconds to go.
I would like it as well. I mean, just, you need something defensive if you have a Draw Ranger.
Seconds.
Lajons at the moment, well, they have decent enough heroes to just get in the Draw Ranger's face, have the bonus of the marksmanship, and
Reserve
I mean,
time.
Draw Ranger, as good as she is at kiting, when you get next to her, she can't escape easily, but House of Gamers, they do go for the Doombringer as the third pick here. It is, of course, excellent if you do get the Doom on the Tidehunter or the Brewmaster before they get the ultimates off, but it's not as easily just done as, I mean, I can say, yeah, you just Doom them easy, fight one, but he actually needs to get to the heroes, and both Brewmaster and Tidehunter with the Blink Daggers, they're not going to show themselves before they're ready to pop their ultimates.
And the Lions are going to pick up an Earthshaker of them, or for themselves. They currently have the teamfight advantage through the most of the game. Even if one of these heroes gets doomed, they still have a Ravage and an Earthshaker to fall in if you take out the Brewmaster, or a Split and an Earthshaker if they doom the Tidehunter. There's just not a great opening for House of Gamers. I'm really not a huge fan of this Doom pick. If it was just one teamfight ultimate they had to worry about, and it's always clear which target you have to doom, then it might be okay, but honestly I think as far as offlaners are concerned, maybe a Centaur would have served them better.
5 seconds.
I think so as well, possibly. I mean, at the moment, if they had known that Lions are going to go for a third melee strength hero, they might have even wanted to pick up a Timbersaw for their offlane, for example. Timbersaw can also kind of make the Fisher useless. Usually, Earthshaker in the laning phase, you just block off the enemy offlaner and easy kill. But he could get away over the Fisher with that Timber Chain, but House of Gamers going for a Puck now as well. So that's going to be their three cores now. And Lajons, I guess they might not get too heavily punished for going just heavy melee at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Even though they're mostly melee, they're fairly self-sufficient in the lightning stage, at least the Tidehunter and Brewmaster. You can leave those heroes solo, and even up against ranged heroes, they can still function fairly effectively. Brewmaster versus the Puck, despite not being the best
10
matchup for the
seconds to go.
Brewmaster, is definitely serviceable, and although Tidehunter is probably not going to get much out of his lane, he always has the backup plan of going to the Ancients. So I think it's fine that they have this many melee heroes, although in the next two picks I think Lions should shy away from that, as if they throw too many melee heroes, especially with this Earthshaker, they could run into issues.
Oh well, so we'll see. I mean, House of Gamers, I mean, Puck is a hero that just I completely love. Usually goes for big plays, just really elusive as well, with the phase shift and whatnot. And usually when the Puck is on the field, it means that at least some form of aggression will be coming out. But Lions, they're going to be extremely scary when they have their ultimates ready. I mean, Puck, as good as he is and just silencing people up and whatnot, Tidehunter with the Kraken Shell doesn't care that much, I guess. Unless they perfectly like silence with the Puck first, get the Kraken Shell to pop, and then have a Gust immediately to follow or something like that. And actually, apart from just the Doom's ultimate, they don't have like standard lockdown. They will have the slow from the Frost Arrows, but Draw Ranger actually needs to right click for that. Puck with the Dream Coil is going to be decent. But they just might have like heroes TP away from them.
Yeah, right now we're going to see a Dazzle pickup from Lions. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm completely on board with this pick, but it should ensure that they at least get one of the ultimates off. Whoever is doomed, they'll be able to offer heal support to that hero as well as just a Grave to make sure that especially Brewmaster is able to get off his ultimate. I'm not sure if it's worth the support pick, but in a team fight it definitely could have some clutch turns. As far as the last bans are going, he's Phantom Assassin taken out by House of Gamers. Honestly, I'm not sure why this is the first one on their minds, despite being a really nice hero up against a Draw Ranger, getting up in your face, also just really good up against the right clicks coming out from these heroes with the 50% evasion. Not sure if that's really the carry that Lions had in mind. I think this game, Morphling, might be one of their choices.
It might be. I mean, Phantom Assassin definitely, I didn't think about that hero at all. When I saw the ban, I was also like, what? I guess it could be good. I mean, just maybe trying to kill off familiars with like one blow or something like that. I don't know. But we'll see what Lions want to go for. I mean, with the Dazzle, I have no idea what safe lane core they're going to run. Morphling, like you mentioned, could be good. There's not too much to lock him down, of course. There will be Doom, but if you Doom the Morphling, Tidehunter and Brewmaster are just going to have free reign in the fight and whatnot. And
10 seconds
even if you
to
Doom
go.
somebody, you already mentioned the Dazzle can just keep that hero alive anyway.
5
So
seconds.
we'll see what House of Gamers go for. They do need themselves another support. They can go for an Enigma if they really want to. I mean, Enigma Eidolons do work reasonably well with the Draw Ranger as well if you want to pop the Precision Aura and whatnot. But it might be just a little bit too greedy.
Then again, I'm not sure exactly where they go to make this not greedy. Visage, there's not very many great partners left in the pool for him. They might consider going for Rubik, and I think that would be one of my favorite supports to see House of Gamers play with. But they're going to go for a Silencer. He
Radiant's pit.
functions in this game to disjoint the combination of spells coming up from Lions. And in that sense, he's pretty good. But then again, he's going to take a long time to get that level 6. In that sense, incredibly greedy.
Oh man, they're running so many silences, it's not even funny. I mean, the stuns they have are all from just familiar drop downs, and that's about it. And all the other things are just silence, silence, silence all the way around. I guess Dream Coil can be used as a stun, but that's really the only one. But Lions, they did go for the Medusa in the end. I mean, Medusa isn't that popular of a hero unless you have like a Vengeful Spirit or maybe Ogre Mage. It's just something to boost him up a little bit further, just get some extra damage, extra attack speed, something like that. It can of course work out. Mana Shield is going to be pretty annoying for House of Gamers to deal with. But do you think it was just a proper, does it fill up their lineup perfectly?
I don't think it fills up their lineup perfectly, but then again, I'm not sure there's anything that does, and it works decently well. There's not really anything that the silences are going to stop except for the Medusa Stone Gaze,
with
which
all the
is
scribbling?
nice to deny
10
Medusa
seconds to
from
go.
getting off. But then again, outside of that, they don't have very great lockdown. In fact, they have no true stuns. They have several ways to cancel TP coming out from Doom, but that's about it. They have the Dream Coil, and for Medusa, that doesn't really matter because she wants to be sitting in the middle of the team fight and just right-clicking away, so Dream Coil doesn't really phase her that much. I think it's an okay carry choice coming out from Lions, and we'll just have to see how it works this game. On the Radiant side, it's going to be Lions, with Era playing on that Medusa as supports. We're going to see Solon on the Dazzle, as well as Earthshaker, who's leading the charge down bottom, played by Bland. Brewmaster going to be handled by Kicks, leaving last but not least, Jonas Sunfan playing the Tidehunter.
And for House of Gamers, on their safe lane, they will have Malem on the Draw Ranger to farm it up, with Faith in Stranger supporting on the Silencer, leaving a moment on the Visage with Slash Strike being on the mid lane on the Puck, and the last one for them will be Out of Sight, Out of Mind on the Doombringer.
I believe that's Mango Banana. Yeah. I think that's a stand-in for them. House of Gamers, for some reason, their captain is, doing something else. I have no
30
idea.
seconds
So,
to showtime.
yeah, I think we're with Mango Banana this game.
Well, I guess he might be Mango Banana. I think he used to be a standard member of House of Gamers anyway before, or I don't exactly know. I just can't understand why can't people use their normal names. Just use your name and just go with it. But nobody ever does it almost.
Yeah, they definitely don't.
And here we go.
I don't really understand. In tournament games, once the ticket's released, that won't be an issue since everybody's names will be changed up. But for now, we're stuck with everybody using their pub names. And we're going to have Visage picking up the Illusion Rune. Dazzle gets the Bounty Rune down in bottom. So each of the supports, or each side getting one of their supports one of those runes. Dazzle's probably a little bit more impactful, as there's nothing that Visage can really accomplish with these illusions here. No camps to block on the enemy side. Currently, just going to be placing some early wards.
It's rather passive indeed at the moment. Doombringer, he's going to be up against a tri-lane, of course, plan. Going to slowly rotate in as well. I don't know where he was even around. I guess he just blocked him and out of sight, out of mind, taking so much damage already. Just a poison touch, a few right clicks from Medusa and the Dazzle. That's what you get when you start without a stout shield and you have 0 base armor.
Yeah, definitely. Doom taking pure damage from the right click's definitely not a happy place to be, and also with the physical damage coming up from the Dazzle. If Blind was there to offer fissure support, maybe they would have even been able to get that kill. Neither of these offlaners should have a good time at all. Although Tidehunter for now is having a better time, man fighting up against Faith in Strangers, once a little bit more farm comes up on the Draw Ranger, it's not going to be so. Currently, he's going to drop Faith in Strangers about as low as he's dropping, but under tower he's going to be forced to pop a salve. Starting out with the Stout Shield, the Tidehunter is going to have a better early start to this game. Bland has made his way towards mid, potentially looking for a fissure on this puck, but honestly, I don't expect a kill to happen.
It's really hard to get that kill in the menu with the fissure. Maybe if Slash Strike farms with the illusory orb and has it on cooldown, at the moment doesn't even have the phase shift. I don't think Lions know that. I'm pretty sure Slash Strike hasn't used the Waning Rift yet. And well, he uses it now. There's the fissure as well, illusory orb though. And he makes it out. No Thunderclap even to connect. And he has gone for 2 points into Waning Rift. I really like him just prioritizing the silence against the lineup he's up against.
Yeah, I'm not sure if avoiding the point up until now coming out from the phase shift is better, but yeah, prioritizing the silence overall, I think that's a good choice. He doesn't really need the extra damage coming out from Loser to farm. He should farm decently well in this lane just with the range advantage and damage that he's getting from Joe. So I think it's a wise build choice coming out from him.
Yes.
Man, just having the precision aura for ranged heroes is so damn good, and they have just 3 heroes that can benefit from it other than the Drow himself. Doombringer, the only one who's gonna find himself lacking from it. Oh, but looking at the Tidehunter, man, he's out of mana already. Silencer, with the level 1 Curse of the Silent, has completely drained him dry already. And without the Anchor Smash, you can't do that much, and he even went for Gush instead of the Kraken Shell, which definitely is a little bit weird. I'm not too sure if he had like a kill potential there or something, but usually if you're up against the tri-lane as a solo laner, you prioritize Kraken Shell before the Gush for sure.
I don't know, I'm okay with him avoiding Kraken Shell since he does have that Stout Shield to give him that damage block potential, but down in bottom it's Doom who gets Fissure Block with the Poison Touch. It's not enough to slow him down in order to get this kill, since Scorched Earth with Boots is pretty good to keep Doom at arm's length. The Stutter Steps a little bit, but they shouldn't have enough lockdown to get this kill. Another Fissure is just too long in coming out from Bland, so out of sight, out of mind is going to make his way back towards base.
Well, so far still no first blood coming out, although there have been a couple of attempts, mostly on just the offlaners. One attempt into the mid lane on the puck as well, but really not easy here to lock down. So, who do you expect is going to go down for the first blood, or what lane it's going to happen in?
Honestly, I have no idea. There's not any great killing potential coming out from either side. The support duo coming out from Lions, I expect to be a little bit better at getting those kills, and maybe the Doom's the one to give up first blood. But as long as he keeps his distance and reserves enough mana for Scorched Earth, even him should stay just fine. So honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's going to rely less on the lanes and theoretical matchups and more on individual play and maybe mistakes. If nothing happens and nobody dies for like 10 minutes, maybe once the level 6 and Blink Dagger come out for kicks, then we'll see first blood.
And Tidehunter looks like he's kind of given up on the offlane at the moment. He came back, stacked the Ancients once. He can of course farm them up a little bit later on. Needs like level 7 or so for it. But House of Gamers, they're taking full advantage of an offlaner being missing. They're going for the push already. They have the siege creep coming in as well. They don't have the best creep cleared themselves. A moment gonna come in now as well. But the supports are struggling for levels a little bit. Not the most, I mean, I've seen way worse as well. But mid lane Slash Strike might be in some trouble as 3 heroes of Lions are just in the vicinity.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't use this Illusory Orb to farm, however, I think he's going to be completely fine. With his levels, I think it's unlikely that he's going to do so. As long as he saves it till after the Fissure, he should be just fine. If there was a Ravage, maybe there's some killing potential, but even then, I don't think that's going to be the case. Both safe laners are getting pretty even farm. Brewmaster is getting even farm in mid. Both offlaners are doing just about as bad, so HoG getting this first tower is going to tip the scales into their favor, although only slightly.
Well, I mean, that's... If you can get the balance in your favor, it's gonna help out at least a little bit, if nothing else. So, tier 1 tower down, 5 minutes in. It used to be a really usual timing for towers to drop when, like, Chen and Enchantress were popular heroes. It was really the latest at the tier 1. Wow, mid lane, the Fissure on the wrong side, Slash Strike. No way for them to get the kill. Don't think they would have gotten it anyway, just Illusory over it. But now, Puck didn't even have to waste any mana.
Yeah, Puck's going to be completely fine, and he is committing fully to the max getting out from Waning Rift, and I expect that to be his next skill point as well. With 4 points into that, that's quite a bit of control coming out from the Puck that usually Pucks are lacking. He hasn't needed to go for the Illusory Orb. It's hurted his landing stage a little bit up against the Brewmaster, but just a couple of CS down, and even having more denies, it doesn't really matter that much. Kicks, however, going to bump into the Doom, and with the split, this might be our first blood, though he doesn't commit the split early enough, and it's going to be Mango Banana to TP back to base.
Oh man, we just won't ever get to see a first blood, it feels like, or if we do have first blood, we're probably gonna miss it or something like that. The longer it takes, the more chance there is that I'm gonna miss first blood at least, because I just get caught up in the rhythm of no kills. Mid lane, another Fisher comes out, but silence onto Quicks. Nothing for him to do. Another illusory or chaunt out. They've been trying to go for the puck so many times. Maybe they should just try to go for like a surprise gank top lane, for example. I don't know. Maybe just do something different.
Yeah, I think that has a higher chance of succeeding, especially when you have some supports that take a little harassment of towers. There was an opening where Visage was pretty low, but now he's back to base. But even if you just have that one surprise point in Gush coming out from Jonas Fan, maybe a Fissure lands, there is some killing potential onto the Drow Ranger. Although Gus might be annoying if she bumps you onto the other side of that said Fissure. I don't know, it's a lot easier than killing off this puck at least. So, I don't know, for now both teams are going to be passive, and I'm not sure who this actually favors. Both teams kind of have some items and level goals in mind, and I think they're both fairly even, although Lions probably have more killing potential once their blinks come out. As for, HoG, Malcolm's going to pick himself up a Midas, and it's 7 minutes, a pretty good timing for him. All Midas on Drow Rangers, more or less a necessary item. I quite like this choice.
I mean, levels are nice for sure, and this can ensure that even if the mid game doesn't go all that great for them, at least Drow Ranger can even transition into the late game if need be. I mean, I've seen quite a lot of Drow Rangers just not get off to an excellent start and then start falling behind in farm just because they don't farm as fast. Especially Medusa will start definitely farming faster than the Drow Ranger otherwise. So Midas, I think it's fine for them. Doombringer going for his own as well, so if you're running already one hand of Midas, you might as well go for two.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded the Midas on Lion's side either if Arrow went forward on the Medusa. His current build, its power treads into, Ring of Health, which is perfectly serviceable in and of itself. I think this is a Linken's game, almost for sure. Although there's some nice ways for them to pop the Linken's effect. As long as the Blink Doom doesn't come out, I think you're going to be completely fine. Mango Banana's Midas is going to be fairly heavily delayed since his early laning stage is slow, but it'll come out eventually, and whenever it does, that extra farm is going to be guaranteed for the Doom, and at the current pace of the game, I think anybody could get a Midas on either side.
Looks like Midases are only going to be on House of Gamers though. Doesn't look like anybody else is trying to aim for one at the moment. Maybe Silencer could even go for one a little bit later on, just to ensure that he can actually get to that Aghanim Scepter, get some levels of his own. So far, doesn't have too much working for him. And 9 minutes in, still no first blood. Ravage, not even available for Jonathan Fan, still trying to farm up the jungle. He's not beefy enough yet to just take care of the Ancients, which are, I think, triple stacked, or no, quad stacked even. So, quite a lot of gold just lying around there. It's now blocked as well, but quad stack is already a pretty huge deal.
Unfortunately not for Jonas Fan, since he did back off for the 1 point in Gush, he'll probably need like level 7 before he's able to farm that stack efficiently. With some help, maybe he's able to do it before, especially if the Medusa offers some help, but Medusa doesn't have 8 points in split shot, so maybe she's not that useful either. Honestly, I think this game would have been a decent game to skip Mystic Snake altogether. I don't know, it's up to personal choice. Generally, it's better to have Mystic Snake and not need it than to not have it and need it later on. Currently, it's a Roshan temp coming up from HoG with the medallion on the Visage. This is definitely doable, and they have some lifesteal on Malum as well. It's not going to be the fastest Roshan you've ever seen, but then again, it's not going to be the slowest, and I don't think that Lions are privy to the fact that they're in the Roshan pit. Even though they have some wards, they might know something's up. There's just a little bit of lip where they could have seen a moment, and Malum work into the pit, and this could be disastrous. This might be our first blood. Malum's still inside the pit. Oh, they know him. Oh dear. He's going to get silenced, tries to TP out. He's going to be just fine. Never mind. Nobody's going to die this game.
I was so certain that we're going to see first blood, but excellent move coming out from the Drow Ranger. Level 1 Gust, but plenty to make sure there are no stuns. I mean, 3-second duration. It lasts longer than a TP scroll does, so really smart play from Drow. And I'm not too sure if it was even wise for them to go for this early on. Usually you wait for the Visage to be level 6 as well, have the familiars, and then go in, something like that. So they kind of just wasted some valuable farming time, really. If it had worked out, wonderful. You get some pretty great levels if you're Roshan this early on with only 2 of your members. But not to be, they didn't lose first blood, so not that disastrous anyway. So everybody just keeps on farming up, and farm games, the best ones.
Yeah, definitely. Usually, you're pretty happy even if your supports get first blood, but when first blood's delayed for this long, it's such a significant amount of gold. And I don't know, this game, Era, I think he's gonna go back for a Midas. I don't know, he might just be saving up for an ultimate orb, but honestly, I wouldn't mind an 11-minute Midas. Jump in from kicks, he has that Blink Dagger, going to split, on to Faith and Strangers, and... What? A moment's gonna die as well? Okay, okay. That blew my mind. That was a misclick. Okay, we're good. Double kill going the way of Lions. After the first use of the split, finally we see some action. Not too surprising, sorry about that delay, but yeah. Okay, false alarm. The game continues.
For a second I was also like, what? It's like, yeah, 11 minutes in, they were like, okay guys, whoever gets the first kill wins the game, I don't know. But really excellent jump there, just perfect timing with it as well. Brewmaster making good use of the Blink Dagger suddenly, has the power trace on top of that. So probably the best jump he could have gone for. Oh, the stun onto Doom, it's a block as well for a little bit, although blind. Didn't follow up, another Blink Thunderclap, one more right click, he's gonna go down tower, helps out a little bit. Suddenly Brewmaster up to 3 kills, man. That just escalated quickly.
Definitely. After like 10 minutes of no action at all, oh dear. Jonas Suns fan, he's dead and he might not know it yet. They have a Dream Clone, they don't need to spend it yet. Just the auto attack silence is enough to secure that kill, and if he tried to TP out, they had that Dream Clone in order to make sure that that's not going to happen. It is HoG getting onto the board, and although it's 3 kills going the way of Lions, it still doesn't feel like it's an unsurmountable lead. The Droranger's still getting good farm. With the Midas, that's kind of the edge that they're getting, but I think most surprising for me is that Bland has a Blink Dagger at 12 minutes in as a support Earthshaker. Obviously, he didn't go for the Arcane Boots first, but this might catch HoG off guard, as it's just not expected that you get that much farm, especially when the Tidehunter isn't even close to his.
Yeah, and they only have 1 tower down as well. Sometimes when it's a pushing lineup, you're not used to getting them that early on, but they just get it because of the global goal. But that's not the case here. I have no clue where he got it. Jonathan fan, never mind. Thought he might go for a moment for a second, but the backup wasn't there. 1 gush just isn't enough. But this timing, man, it's gonna become maybe as a surprise. I don't know, House of Gamers, maybe they saw him at the moment as Doom just died mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a Blink Clap crit. That does a surprising amount of damage for this point in the game, and it looks like Doom just wasn't respecting that, standing a little too close. I didn't expect him to die, but it happens every once in a while. Medusa is going to be committing fully towards the Lincoln Sphere build, does have the completed Perseverance and enough gold in order to get that ultimate orb. Although Medusa is a fairly slow starting hero, this early game is exactly what Medusa wants, although I'm still kind of in favor of going for a Midas this game. I think it's going to pay off for the Droranger, and would have paid off for the Medusa had she gone for it. Malum is currently sitting at level 11, and at 13 or almost 14 minutes in, as a safe lane farmer, that's a wonderful amount of levels for yourself, almost to where the mid heroes are doing. In fact, the Puck is only level 9 since he hasn't been involved in a single kill. Or actually, he got that 1 kill. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, the only kill they have as well, but Doombringer comes in. Is he gonna Doom Era? Yes, he is. There's the Blink ultimate from Slashtrack as well. Global Silence the ultimate with Era. He's so damn tanky with the mana shield. He doesn't care at all, and suddenly Doombringer, he's gonna get Boulder tossed up and probably taken out as well. A few more right clicks thrown up in the air as well. Yeah, he's gonna go down for sure. Slashtrack maybe can turn it around with anything, something. Solan, is he gonna go for it? Blink, Thunderclap. Oh, nice jaunt away, Slashtrack. They get Dazzle down. A moment comes in as well quick. He's just gonna TP out because Visage, his familiars are God knows where. Era still alive somehow, but he's on the run. Quicks, another Thunderclap is gonna bring down a moment. Silencer gets the kill onto Era. So in the end, it's a 2 for 2, and Silencer gets 2 points of intelligence as well.
Yeah, it was a very risky move by Era to stick around when he didn't have enough mana. Familiar drop 1, Familiar drop 2, onto kicks. Both are going to connect, but I don't think they have the damage to kill off this Brewmaster, but with the silence, maybe they will. Cutting Miranda gets a lucky bug, but there's going to be a double Echo Slam coming out from the Earthshaker, although not enough damage to follow up for it. I think it's going to secure everybody's retreat except for poor Earthshaker. First usage of the Blink Dagger Echo Slam, not very flashy at all, but I suppose it saves Kix, who is rocking with a 5-0 kill spree, so I suppose it's worth it in that sense. Yeah, Era, even though he was doomed, he was taking very little damage because of the mana shield. Without mana, however, he's very squishy. HoG were able to blow him up after the fact.
Oh, Slashstrike might lose his life to Jonas Van. He's gonna pop the Ravage for the solo kill. Definitely worth it, I think. Just no point to hold on to the Ravage when you know you're not gonna get the proper fight anyway. With this, he gets a little bit of gold. Now gonna go farm up the Ancients or try to, and that's gonna be Blink Dagger plus then some. Maybe even Arcane Boots if he farms up the entire stack. So nice kill onto the Puck like that. And so far, game is pretty damn even, to be honest. 7-4 in kills, but XP, it's only 600, our net worth rather, only a 600 difference. XP, well, about 1300, but not a big deal, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely not. Johnson fan looking for another stack of Ancients. Not going to find it. Those little golems move a little too slowly. At this point, it's pretty hard to get that. Honestly, I'm not sure if Ravage for the puck was worth it. I think an Anchor Smash would have done enough damage to kill him off. Currently over in the river, we're going to see Kix eating a Soul Assumption as well as the Silence coming out from the Draw Ranger and Visage combo. But the misses are going to be too much. But with Familiars as well as that Draw Aura, it's going to do a lot of damage to Kix. But a Grave and a couple of Fuels might be enough to save him off. He is going to pop his Stick Charges and Blink Dagger to keep himself safe. That's the power of your Dazzle right there.
In bad shape.
Oh wow. Well, they do escape, and it's sick how strong the Frost Arrows are. The Brewmaster, he moved at the movement speed of 139. That's almost pretty much when you're hexed up. I think it goes down to 100, and that's the minimum. So he was just reduced to a crawl pretty much. So Frost Arrows, they're pretty damn strong when they're maxed out. Of course, Gust is still only level 1. But he has the lifesteal. What do you think Draw Ranger is even going to transition into? I've seen quite a lot of Draw Rangers build S and Y recently. Do you think he's going to go for one as well?
I'm not sure. It wouldn't be bad by any means. I think Manta Style is probably my item of choice if you are going to be building into that Yasha rather than going for the S and Y. Despite the illusions not getting the benefit from marksmanship, they still do a decent amount of damage, and I don't know, I think it's just a little bit better, especially if you get a Manta dodge off or purge off the Drunken Haze. Honestly, I think going for a Black King Bar this game is entirely necessary for Malum, so if he doesn't want to go for a Blink Dagger, I'd just go straight for the BKB.
BKB definitely wouldn't be a bad item. Of course, Medusa's ultimate can still go through BKB as well, but Medusa getting that close to a Draw Ranger and getting him to actually petrify up isn't the easiest thing to do. And now Brewmaster has himself a Vladimir's Offering finished as well. I just love that item all in all. Plus, just extra armor early on is pretty damn strong. Solan and Quicks, they're on the hunt for something. As the Blink Dagger finished now on the Doombringer as well. So still everybody's kind of farming up, but House of Gamers, they do have the double Midases running for them just continuously. Wow,
Yeah, definitely.
Silencer, he's gonna go down.
Yeah, fairly straightforward. Kix is going to get himself an unstoppable spree, which is pretty impressive considering the lull in the action, but he just seems to be getting last hit on pretty much every kill. The highest net worth on his team, only below the likes of the Draw Ranger, who is going to commit towards the Yasha, so maybe it is going to be an S and Y build for Malum after all.
By the way, Slash Strike went for a late Midas on the puck as well, so House of Gamers, they're rocking triple Midas now. That's, I mean, going for this late of a Midas on puck, it can work out, but I'm not too sure if it was entirely necessary in this game.
I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's going to go unpunished, and in that sense, I think it's completely fine. I would have liked to see Lions pick up some Midases of their own, even though I'm usually not one to suggest it. After the Blink Dagger, Brewmaster getting a Midas, I wouldn't have been opposed to that either. Honestly, the Vladimir's, although it's nice, I think this game is angling towards the later portions of the game, and anybody who picks up a Midas is probably going to get some traction out of it, and for now, HoG are getting away with it unpunished, and I think that's going to remain the case. Blink Daggers on both the puck and Doom, and honestly, at this point in the game, that's all that they need.
I mean, in theory, Medusa could have gone for one as well. I mean, with the Medusa, usually games go later anyway. Not the greatest just hero to fight early on, but the TP's coming in. They want to defend. Jonathan gets caught by the Familiars as well. There's the first drop, the second one as well. But, oh, they popped the Stone Gaze and the Primal Split, but there wasn't a blink anywhere before. Global Silence as well. So, they maybe get Faith in Strangers, puck kills of Earthshaker in the meantime. Tower still dropping low, more TPs to come. Are they... Actually, never mind, Doombringer, he comes in, but he's so low on mana, I can't even use the ultimate. What's he gonna do here? Scorched Earth on cooldown. Is he really gonna go down like this quick? Blinks away from Faith in Strangers. They didn't get a single kill with their ultimate. But there's the Blink Ravage. Can't just do Doombringer. He's so damn low already, as is a moment. Easy 2 kills with the tier 2 as well. They might lose a tier 2 in return. In the mid lane it drops low. Or the top lane puck might bring it down as well, but... That was a really weird fight from both teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a deny up top as Puck just doesn't have enough damage for that last auto attack. So Dezel's able to secure that, so a little bit of gold denied the way of HoG. All said and done, Lions are going to find themselves a win, but Jones Suns fan being attacked by the Draw Ranger. Defensive Fissure should keep himself safe, however, despite a curse landing on top of it. He is going to body block himself a little bit with illusions, but he'll be safe for now.
Well, the Dazzle so far really haven't felt him do too much, to be honest, although he is level 10, almost level 11, so has the Shallow Green maxed out. That's definitely good, but at least he's doing a little bit more than the Silencer, I guess. Who is going for the straight off Aghanims, has the point booster, but still needs 3 parts for it, about 2.1k away from it, so not that far, but unless they start taking towers or just excellent fights, Silencer, he's not going to get it that fast at all.
Yeah, He is about halfway there,
Oh,
but that's
Jonathan
about
Fan,
it.
top lane, gonna be chased down. He's doomed up as well, Doom. He needs a few more right clicks. The creeps come in to block as well. Jonathan Fan might be able to survive this even. No blink forward from Doombringer. One more right click and he's gonna go down.
Yeah, poor Tidehunter, despite still having Kraken Shell, it doesn't purge off the Doom, unfortunately enough for him. So there's going to be plenty of damage that the Doom has to get that solo kill. Casually Midasing creeps, going for a little CS while he's at it. Doesn't really matter. Tidehunter just found himself in an awkward position. Since Doom didn't have the mana to use it in the last fight, has it now. Solon in mid is going to be tagged by a silence coming out from Slash Strike, but the loser misses, and that should secure his retreat, despite Puck doing a lot of damage. In the meantime, it's a Draw Ranger to get the Aegis. Now the split, trying to kill off people. It's going to be a moment to be tagged by a Boulder as well as a Fissure. Now the right clicks are going into the Broodlings, but it's not enough. A moment trying to escape. He has some teammates, but that might not be enough to save him. Grave Chilling one of the Broodlings, trying to run as fast as he can, but the right clicks and Immolation Aura proved to be too much for him. Now Solon being eaten into by Malum will be able to secure a 1-for-1 on top of that Aegis. TP away will make sure that Kick survives. He's able to blink away before the Dream Coil, so Slash Strike spends that cooldown with nothing in return. But now Brewmaster has caught up the creek without a paddle, as he is currently without TP, going to be gusted back. Now the right clicks from the Drow as well as the Buck should be enough to kill him off. Despite having a cheeky play to avoid the Dream Coil, he's still going to die nonetheless. And that's a wicked 6 spree going the way of the Draw Ranger. A lot of gold now in HOG's pockets.
Oh, and the red Doombringer in the mid lane as well, just 3 heroes finding him. Mystic Snake gets the kill for Era. And I still have to say Quick's really fast reactions there. As the Puck blinked next to him, he cancelled his TP and blinked away. He knew the Dream Coil was about to come. Of course it didn't matter in the end, but still nice to see that people have such reactions. But Malaman getting the gold, and that's the one downside of one hero just getting too much farm. And Brewmaster, he did go for the Hand of Midas just after the Vladimir's, man. This game just... They're just having a contest who can get the Midas later.
Echo Slam mid onto Faith and Strangers with the Enchant Totem as well as a blinking for the Tidehunter. Faith and Strangers is going to die fairly easily, but now Jonas Sunfan is going to be tagged by a Grave Shoal. That should be about all that she wrote in mid lane. Use an ultimate, get a kill, pretty straightforward there. Down in bottom, there's a little bit of a push coming in from HOG, but nothing that Lions can handle.
Man, this game, how many Midases do we have now? Okay, so there's 3 on House of Gamers and only 1 on Lions. So if Lions really want to take this even later, they might just end up paying the price at some point. Both teams have, well, at least one team has 2 Blink Daggers, the other one 3 Blink Daggers. So in a sense, there's a lot of net worth between the 2 teams, but most items don't really give you anything. Oh, Jonathan gets doomed up, minus armor as well. Soul Assumption, nice Blink Thunderclap from Quicks. Jonathan probably gonna escape with the help of Solar, but Quicks silenced up. Can they bring him down within the silence? Global silence to follow as well. They need so little more, but Quicks, he stays alive, never mind. There's the Dream Coil. Doombringer gets the kill for himself. Era gonna farm up a few creeps, but it's just Brewmaster dying and Tidehunter survives.
And now Malum tagged by Fissure could be in a bit of a pickle here. They are going to pop the Lincolns, but a Ravage lands onto pretty much everybody. Slash Strike, however, is able to phase shift and probably able to get out of this alive. Now with the silence onto most of these heroes, they are probably all going to escape. Slash Strike in a bit of a pickle. No mana is going to be spotted out. One right click from the Deuce. They're going to be phase shift dodge. The Earn Tick is also avoiding a little bit of this damage. Looking for a blink out, can't find it as Tidehunter gets the Gust to secure the kill.
Well, everybody's just getting random kills at the moment, although Era might go down. There's the silence from the Gust. They pop the Lincolns as well, but Era pretty damn tanky, but no mana all of a sudden. Shallow Grave for the rescue. And the Familiars shouldn't be enough with the Shadow Wave as well. So Era survives, man. Solen. This was really the first clutch save I've seen this game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in position in order to get those saves off, and I don't know, I think the biggest issue is that Dazzle just hasn't been needed. Era has mostly been pretty safe inside the team fights coming up as that cleanup crew. He died once down in bottom, but I think that was more Era's misplay than Dazzle being out of position.
Oh wow, well, at least it's nice to just have that safety net of the Dazzle even though he hasn't been needed. In most games, usually you just have the situation a little bit more often maybe. So 14-9 the kill score, we're 25 minutes in. Looking at the graphs, it's about a 2k net worth lead for House of Gamers. XP, 1700 or so. Not disastrous by any means if you're Lions at the moment, especially since Medusa is still number 2 in net worth. But if this actually does go to the later stages of the game, who would you give the advantage to? I mean, Medusa is pretty sick as mid lane. Well, the kill of the Puck. Another Blink Echo Slam to initiate things. And oh, they're going for a Faith in Strangers as well. Gusted up, slowed down by the Drunken Haze. A few more right clicks will get the kill.
Yeah, 4-step forward on kicks to get him in range. It's going to be a fairly straightforward 2 kills going the way of the Lions. Very liberally using that Echo Slam coming out from the Earthshaker to initiate, and I think that's a decent choice coming out from them. Finally, Tier 1 tower and mid's going to fall, but at the same time, we have Malum pushing out top, so they can't really go for much more than this. But they'll at least get a little bit of gold that's been sitting on the map for quite some time. And honestly, at 26 minutes, it's time enough that those tier 1 towers fall. Still one standing up in top.
Oh, Malum gonna get fissured up. Is there enough follow-up? Era, he's pretty damn close. He's from the war off. There's the Ghost and Malum going for the TP out once again. Guys, it's just... they're TPing away so often.
Yeah. As for Drow Ranger's build, it is going to be that SNY you were talking about earlier, and now into the BKB. So Malum is going to pretty much have most of his bases covered, the extra movement speed to help kite around some heroes. He now has magic immunity as well, and he's going to be pretty scary inside the team fights. However, unfortunately for him, the Aegis is just going to flat out die, as that's now out of his inventory.
Man, Drow Ranger definitely is pretty damn stacked. Medusa, although she has similar net worth to the Drow Ranger, doesn't feel as strong just because, well, your marksmanship maxed out. You do so much damage. He's been carrying the pack, the Alpha Wolf with him for quite some time with the Helm of Dominator now. He's hitting for 350 plus damage with just the aura being there. That's pretty damn ridiculous, and at some point, the Alpha Wolf of course won't be reliable because he can just die to random AoE damage. But then Doombringer can just pick up the aura for himself.
Yeah, and even then, as long as Drow Ranger survives in the team fights, it's everybody else that's going to be doing the damage. Look at that Drow aura plus the Alpha Wolf aura onto those familiars. That's stupid damage. It is going to wear off now, but Malum jumped in mid. Fissure, they're not able to get off the split, however, and now he's doomed. Brewmaster is completely silenced and controlled throughout this fight. Tier 2 tower falls to the Visage, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. There are going to be a couple familiars flying through, but it looks like they're going to survive as well, up to the high ground, with no vision for the Radiant team. Unless somebody blinks after them, they're going to be completely fine. So House of Gamers get a freebie in mid. No fight actually breaking out, despite some ultimates being exchanged.
Well, House of Gamers still coming out ahead. Yes, their ultimates are on cooldown, but they got the tier 2. They escaped with losing nothing really. Even the familiars escaped somehow. Slash Strike getting closer to the Hex, if it's a Hex at all on the puck, but I don't really see a point for him to go Lincolns. If you were on Lion's side, Lincolns would make sense up against Doombringer and whatnot, but most likely Hex to come out. Doombringer is gonna have either an AC or a Shiva's card finish now soon enough as well. Has the plate mail already in the inventory. And another 2.6k in the bank as well. So House of Gamers, the end of Midas is really just 30 minutes in now, starting to pay off heavily.
Definitely. If you look at the inventories on both of the sides, the effective items that both side has are fairly even, and then you add that 2,000 gold for the Midas on top of it. And honestly, Midas this game is more effective than most, since that extra attack speed is actually pretty significant for the puck, with Power Treads and Midas and an extra 59 damage coming out from the Drow Ranger. He's hitting very hard himself. At about half of what the Drow Ranger is able to put out, but even then, it's still going to do a lot of damage, especially to these supports. Dazzle and Earthshaker are not going to be too happy. Fissure up top onto Malum, but Malum should be completely fine. He's not going to be able to get the Gust off, however. Now Medusa ultimate committed to this. Gust trying to run away. Doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Does have a BKB TP if he really needs to use it, but he's just falling too low. Can't get it off. Blink forward by Bland, as well as one more Enchant Totem will kill him off. And Drow Ranger just bit off a little more than she could chew. Draws out 2 ultimates for it, but still worth it for Lions.
Well, House of Gamers get the last out of the tower at the same time with Silencer as well as Puck. Of course, as the Drow died, suddenly no more extra damage for Silencer. And they're going for the TP out. Solan can't really stop anything. Even if it does have the maxed out Poison Touch, even then the stun might not just kick in time. And Puck, he's just staying around. Does he really expect to get a solo kill here?
I don't think so, but then again, do they expect him to go for a solo kill? He's just going to TP out. There we go. So Strike a little bit delayed there, but I don't think it really matters much. There wasn't something else that he could be doing on the map that was more useful, so I mean, there's always the hope that one of these supports pokes their head up a little too close, like where Solon is now being spotted out by that Dire Ward. Maybe if that was the Earthshaker, Puck could have gone for something.
Oh man, Silencer, he's only 10 gold short now of the Aghanim Scepter, and that's gonna be huge. Level 2 ultimate as well. Gonna be a 6-second duration with the Aghanims, plus apply your current level of Curse of the Silent, which is maxed out. So it's going to do quite a lot, and it's going to mean that, I guess Brewmaster has Blink there, so he might be able to blink a little bit earlier, but Tidehunter, he won't be able to blink for a pretty long time once the Global Silence comes out.
Yeah, Doom picks himself up a robe. At this point in the game, I'm not sure what his thoughts are. Potentially an Orchid? I'm not sure if there's anything else that you might consider. Blade Mail should be pretty good. Oh, Refresher, that's it, there we go. Never mind. Scratch that, that's the obvious choice.
Well, you won't have the greatest mana pool though, although Shiva's card you get some extra intelligence, but even so, you might just run out of mana at some point. Your spells don't cost that much, I guess, but having Refresher, it's really taxing on your mana pool. So we'll see if he goes straight off into that or not.
Yeah. With Refresher, ulti's going to be burning through, give or take, 700 mana or thereabouts, and there's a little bit of extra mana coming out from the Refresher Orb, although not that much. He'll have enough to get all of his spells off at least once, although maybe not enough for a double War Stomp. Just getting off the double Doom is going to be pretty important, especially if you can get it on the Brewmaster before he gets off his ultimate. You're pretty much deleting a hero from a fight, which they've been doing pretty effectively. Currently, it's Lajons' turn to jump into the Roshan pit, but they're going to initiate very heavily as Puck jumps in, as does the Doom. The Global Silence is way too late. Or no, it's following up after that initiation. They'll be able to burn down Quicks before he gets off his ulti. Lajons' era is still looking pretty solid as Doom's picked up on the backlines, but now trying to chase down Malum is in the wrong corner of the neighborhood with no mana now. All of the damage is going to be completely pure, and now Faith and Stranger is being focused down by the Earthshaker, trying to TP out, can't TP out. It's going to be a Scorched Earth to do him in, and it's a 0-for-4 trade going the way of HoG, and Roshan is now going to go their way to add insult to injury.
Man, Aghanim's Global Silence, no joke at all. Just excellent fight from them. Silencer even survives. The only positive for Lajons is that Silencer didn't steal any points of intelligence in that fight. But House of Gamers Visage has his own Aghanims that they're all of a sudden done. They're getting that much closer to the next set of items. They're gonna have the Aegis now as well on the draw, plus a Butterfly to come out next. Has the Talisman of Evasion already for it. Just excellent fight, Lajons. Getting completely caught off guard, and the Global Silence, yes, it lasts for 6 seconds, but Era, he got silenced by the Gust straight after as well. So before he managed to pop his Stone Gaze, or well, he didn't manage that at all. But after he got silenced, or before the silence ended, he was already too low on mana thanks to the mana shield, so no Stone Gaze, no fight, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, Brewmaster isn't able to do anything. BKB or not, doesn't matter when you get doomed, can't use those items. So Kix is pretty much an aura carrier, and even then it's fairly weak. You could get a Vlad's on pretty much anybody else, and Medusa isn't doing enough damage. Her build is fairly damage light, and although she survives until her mana pool is out, draining through her mana is very easy, as HoG have just so much damage from every single one of their heroes. All of them contribute something inside the team fight, and you can't say the same for Lajons, especially when they get picked apart like that.
Well, kill score still 17-13. It is in the favor of Lajons, although that really doesn't tell the entire story. Shonosofan gonna be able to TP out. Familiar drop downs used a little bit too early maybe. But he does escape. And well, Gem picked up on Visage now as well. Looking at the graphs, man, almost a 10k network lead, 10k XP as well, so pretty damn good for House of Gamers. You definitely wouldn't think it looking at the kill score. So where do they go from here? I mean, do they just go aggressive now having the Aegis, or do they wait for the Butterfly to be finished? Maybe Refresher Orb on Doom, or is just that is it too long of a wait?
I don't think it's too long of a wait, to be honest. Medusa, although in theory is really scary, I think that Draw Ranger, with the team backing her up, is going to be scarier. They're not going to be facing down a double Ravage for quite some time. 3,200 gold on the Tidehunter with no Midas to accelerate that farm. HoG, I think they'll make a push with this Aegis, but I don't think it's going to be fully committed to. Maybe get a tier 3, but they don't need to feel pressured into going high ground. If they get a pick off, that's a different story. But I think for now they can just wait until that next round of items comes up. But they are going to push down mid now, with the Butterfly flying out to Malum.
Man, that Butterfly is gonna make her so ridiculously strong. Plus, of course, extra agility means more precision aura damage for everybody. And I haven't really kept an eye on if he's even used it in the fights to help out the Familiars do damage, but with 3 Familiars being there, having the precision aura buffed, it's so ridiculous. Although Era, forces out the stone form already.
Yeah, unfortunately this has actually used that, but it'll probably be cooling down fast enough. Draw Ranger, the Drunken Ace is going to be annoying for now, but when she pops that BKB, doesn't matter. Oh dear. That's quite a pause. At least it's before the fight breaks out. I suppose we can, I don't know, kind of break down what might happen.
Oh, what might happen is that House of Gamers go in, Global Silence, win fight. Of course, Era, his Stone Gaze is going to be so important for them to actually be able to survive. They need to kind of mitigate the damage of Draw Ranger, otherwise it's just going to be right-clicking everybody to death with the Frost Arrow, slowing them down. I mean, Brewmaster has the BKBs, but it's still 10 seconds. Last fight, he didn't even get it off at all. And Era is so close to the Eye of Sky as well. Looking at the buyback status, well, 2 heroes, Tidehunter and Medusa, have it, so even if they die, they can buy back and defend anyway. Still, looking at the positioning, I mean, Tidehunter, he isn't even in the base yet.
Yeah, even if he TPs back now, it might be too late. Earthshaker's pretty far down bottom, has a 4-step blink to remedy that, but still Bland's not in position now, and he might need to be. And even if he's in position, you're dealing with the global silence and a Doom ulti, which is pretty ridiculous at this point. Lions, it's going to be a hard defense to be sure. Right now, Butterfly is available for Malum, and the damage that everybody's getting is going to be 71, and Draw Ranger's hitting like a truck right now at 380 a pop.
God damn, Draw Ranger. I mean, plus, she's hitting pretty damn fast as well. Hitting for, well, not exactly 3 right clicks per second, but close enough to be honest at this point. No Mask of Madness though, which is also a pretty popular item on draws, but she went for the Helm of the Dominator to have maybe a little bit of a better transition into the later game, just go for Satanic next. There's nothing to stop the Satanic heal from coming out as well, except maybe getting some just extra lockdown and draw. But she has a 10-second BKB as well still. I mean, she got it pretty early on, didn't she?
Yeah, definitely. She hasn't been forced to use it. The only time that there was even a thought of using it was when she was gone on up top, but the Medusa ultimate was still going through, so there wasn't even an opening. She has 10 seconds where she can go ham in the fight, or Lions can't really control her, and that's incredibly scary. 10 seconds
Guess
for a
what's
Draw
happening
Ranger, that's
down
going
at
to be
bottom tower?
about 6,000 damage that she's able to put out.
Oh no, top lane! Oh man, Banana! He doomed a creep instead of the Tidehunter. Oh my god.
Oh
That-
dear. Hashtag baited, and now it's HOG to back out. BKB popped by Malum, and a global ulti pretty much used defensively. TP's out all around. Everybody's going to be alive, but man, that stinks.
Oh. He came in so nicely as well. Came in from the side. He didn't TP to the tower the Tidehunter was pushing. He TP'd to the mid lane just to come in as a surprise. Blinked in, popped the Shiva's card, and then doomed the creep. I mean, everything before that was perfect, but just the end fade completely.
Oh dear, I didn't even catch that on camera. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but oh dear. Poor Mango Banana. We do now have that Scotty finished up by Era. He's probably going to have enough buyback, or enough for buyback in the next fight, despite not having that much reliable gold. Still should be fine. It's currently Lions to be able to make an aggressive move, and now setting their sights on the Malum. Does have a double life. Going to be jumped by Bland, Earthshaker, Fissure. Now with the Anchor Smash, as well as the right clicks and 4 heroes, it might be enough, but the Dream Coil, they're going to drop the Echo Slam, but it's only onto Malum as the Spaceship comes out from Slash Strike. BKB split coming out from the Brewmaster. Malum's still not dead. That's the first life gone. I don't think they're going to be able to control him up a second time. BKB is cooling down 10 seconds. Will it be enough to keep Malum alive? And it looks like it will. Boulder Toss, but now with Era, the damage is there, but not enough. Jonas Stones fan, they get the Ravage off onto Malum as well as onto Mango Banana, and now Malum in stone form is going to be pretty much just straight up dead. Now on the sidelines, a moment's going to be focused down by Era. Tidehunter's going to die to the puck on the other side of the fight, but it's now Kicks to be stunned by these Vicious Familiars. Third drop isn't going to be available as it dies too fast. Now Faith in Strangers as well as Slash Strike and Mango Banana going to doom up Era. The Lincoln Sphere pop. They're trying to focus him down. Mana Pool's still looking pretty healthy. They need more damage, and now they might be able to find it without the Draw Ranger. This is a lot harder of a kill, but now with no mana, Era is going to die without getting any other kills off. Lions, that started out really well for them, picking off the Draw Ranger, but that's about all they're able to get since they just take a very divided fight with HOG.
Pretty much they used every single of their ultimates, just their most damaging abilities to kill off the Draw Ranger twice. First the Echo Slam to get the Aegis down, then the Ravage, which I think only landed on the draw as well to get the second life. And suddenly Doombringer has the Refresher Orb finished as well. It's going to be so devastating for them in the next fight, and in this fight there wasn't even a global silence or anything like that. Although the silencer, he did quite a lot of work still just with the Glaives of Wisdom, doing quite a lot of pure damage there.
Yeah, definitely. Silencer, he didn't put points in that for the longest time, but now with level 16, he only has 14 stolen intelligence, but that's still enough to do quite a bit of damage. And then when Dro's back up, that's an extra 70 physical damage on top of it. Everybody is a pretty potent right-clicking threat, and I think focusing the Draw Ranger is the right choice, but after they get that kill, Lions try to take some micro-engagements around the map as well. Going towards the north where the puck cleans house, and down towards the south where they're just not able to chase anybody down. Even with a Scotty, they don't have staying power without their Earthshaker or without the ultimates coming out from the Brew and Tidehunter, so it's not going to be a clean-cut victory for them, where it probably could have been under different circumstances. Right now, it's the Midases that are paying off for HOG. They now have a lot of slots done in the Draw Rangers. She sells the Midas in order to replace it for the, Aegis earlier, but now she has another slot and Satanic to complete up for herself. You now have the double Doom coming out from the Wait, where's the refresher? Okay, it's on the ground. There we go. Double Doom coming out from Mango Banana, so even if he dooms a creep, he's going to be fine, and all of the other heroes are getting items that they need. We have a gem, Aghanim Scepter on a moment, Faith in Strangers, Aghanim Scepter only, but sooner rather than later, he'll be hitting pretty hard as well.
Yeah, and even Puck is going for that Heaven's Halberd now, so he's going to be able to disarm Medusa, which is really the only threat for Lions at the moment. Tidehunter was just forced into a BKB to try to deal with the Global Silence, be ready for the fight with the Ravage a little bit earlier, but that just means there's not going to be a refresher orb for the longest time on the Tide.
Roshan respawn timer, we're going to see it in about 30 seconds. Both teams are trying to control up the pit, just to make sure that they're the ones to have the Roshan advantage. Although Lions have a capable team of fighting in the Roshan pit, their Rosh doesn't fall as fast as HoG's does, especially with the medallion still up for the Visage. The amount of damage they can pump into the single target is pretty absurd, and Rosh is going to fall in mere seconds, so for now, it's Lions to lose control around the Roche pit, and now they might lose a little bit more. However, Visage shows himself to the creeps, and now forced to TP back to base. That gank is not going to succeed, or at least it shouldn't.
I mean, did he need to TP all the way back to base, though? I mean, they had 4 heroes around him anyway to defend. I don't know why he exactly TP'd back. So, they're just probably going to lose the tier 2 tower from this. Although Brewmaster and Tidehunter are not the best of pushers, and to be honest, the itemization from Lions has been a little bit weird. I mean, Brewmaster going for that really late Hand of Midas, whereas nobody else went for it. And I mean, just Vladimir's offering first. First, I think they tried to go for like more of a mid-game timing, then thought to take it to the late game a little bit more. It just doesn't feel like they talked it through as a team.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Honestly, with Medusa, I don't think there's any real reason to fully commit to a fighting build unless the game mandates it, and this one doesn't. HoG couldn't take the fight to Lions, and I think if Arrow went for Midas, this would be almost a completely different game. We're going to have a pause now coming up from the Tidehunter. No reason given. Hopefully we'll find out fairly shortly, and if not, we'll just wait until both teams are ready.
Man, chat is always fun. HoG, that is pork in English.
It is.
I never even thought about that just connection between House of Gamers and just it being HoG. But, well, and chat, got to love chat. Even though it's not as spammy as Twitch chat is here, but whoever says something smart usually. So we're gonna have a pause. It came out from Lions. Hopefully it's not gonna be too long or anything. And with the BKB on Tidehunter, they're gonna have to make something happen. Even Brewmaster, the BKB still is down to 9 seconds. I mean, everybody's had the BKBs for quite some time. I guess Tidehunter just got it, but the Brewmaster has it for a really long time. So does the Drow. But both of them have only used it once.
2 seconds. I think that's about over, Blan. Hopefully we're going to get back into this game. Yeah, there just hasn't been very many 5-on-5 engagements. Both teams have been pretty content to just sit back and farm, and with the amount of Midases that HoG have gone for, it's working better for them. There's only one, and that's on the Brewmaster, and honestly, he's not going to be doing that much with a Midas. I mean, it got him his BKB faster, which is nice. It got him level 16, but after that, he doesn't really scale incredibly well into the later portions of the game. Brewmaster is more or less just an aura carrier at that point, because his Broodlings are going to just die too quickly in the fights. Finally, we have some real damage coming out from Lions in the form of the Demon Edge on Medusa. Medusa still has buyback, and eventually the MKB is going to come out for her, but oh, Doom finds himself a Dazzle, and Dazzle is going to die one way or another, and this isn't the end of Doom for now. He's going to be able to TP away from Medusa, but not from the Earthshaker. Jump in, Force Staff forward for the Enchant Totem hit. Echo Slam also committed, out of sight, out of mind, is going to be out of mind inside his base, as he's sent there the hard way by both Era and Blan.
He didn't need to go all that far for the kill. I mean, Dazzle, he's the one keeping the others alive if they get doomed, but he cannot Shallow Grave, he cannot heal while he's doomed. So he should have just let, I guess he was a little bit afraid of the hero getting denied, but it's a Dazzle. I mean, who cares if that hero gets denied or if you get the kill? Just to support Dazzle, nothing else. I mean, losing your own life for that, just not worth it.
Yeah, definitely not. It's still not going to impact the game that much. Both teams aren't really in a position to push. They're just going to wait up until the next items come out, importantly for Medusa, that MKB, and Draw Ranger. I think Satanic would be on the table for her. But I think even more important is Silencer getting whatever he's saving up for, although that's going to take quite a long time. Actually, Malum has been using the Midas throughout the game, currently running with the 7 slot. I don't know why he's not putting that into his inventory now. As without the Aegis, there's no real reason to leave that in base, but he's kept it on cooldown effectively, so I suppose it doesn't matter. Flutter to get around the map a little bit faster. Malum's going to be the first one to scout the Roshan, and now going to pump a couple of arrows into him, pick up the invis, and then walk back into the pit. Huh.
That's it's like I really don't want to kill Roshan anyway. I don't know if it was baiting or whatnot. The Invis run though might allow him to just set up a solo kill with the frost arrows. It's really easy to just get a kill on the support, for example. I mean, Dazzle, he has the 4 staff, but not too sure if it would even be enough at this point.
Yeah, definitely not. We're just kind of waiting until both of the teams collapse on this Roshan pit. Neither team is comfortable taking it, despite HoG having a really fast Roshan. Fighting Roshan up against a Ravage coming out from the Tidehunter, Brewmaster Split, Echo Slam, and not to mention the Stone Gaze. It's just not a happy place for them to take an engagement. If they're able to sneak it, they'll do it, but right now both teams have some decent vision around the Roche pit, and both will know if the other one's doing it, so neither team's going to do anything. We're going to see the Radiant farming inside their own jungle, and Droranger farming up her Ancients. However, the rest of the team smoked up, leading out with out of sight, out of mind. He does have the double doom, and he might find kicks. He's going to instead jump in onto the sidelines. He's going to doom up the Tidehunter, refreshes, then looks for a doom on the Era. He has doom both targets. Will they be able to win this fight? The damage just isn't there, and neither is the chasing power. However, this is going to zone them out. Malum isn't focusing on the Roshan, instead onto the Brewlings, doing a decent amount of damage to all of them, focusing down the Wind one next, Storm Panda next to fall, trying to kill him while he's inside the split form. I don't think it's going to happen, but now Brewmaster in his normal form going to look for the blink away, blinks to the south. They still are able to chase him, although Doom doesn't blink down enough, and now it's their turn to retreat. The Dooms have worn off on both Era and Jonas Sunfan. 4-staff forward on the Tidehunter. Bland is being focused, however, by the Dro, or Shaker to fall. Maybe the Dazzle is going to save him with Shallow Grave. Ultimate pop by Era, focused down Malum, just not doing the damage, even though he has the MKB on the backlines. Earthshaker cleaned up by the puck, now pursuing a little bit more. Hoofstomp coming up from out of sight, out of mind, not going to be enough to slow down Era. Still chasing down, there's your Ravage. Only catches the Drow Ranger, but that might be the only target they need. Can they find him? Juking around the woods, gets the silence off, running down towards the south. Drow Ranger surviving, another focus down, kicks, turns for a couple of frost arrows, kicks the first to fall. Now 4-staff forward, they're going to be able to get off the gush onto Malum. Still juking around the woods, hasn't used the flutter yet, buys the blink dagger, goes down to the south. He might survive, and Drow Ranger scot-free out of there, but Medusa not the same, as she's caught around 4 enemy heroes, gem reclaimed by, excuse me, the Visage. Now Jones Sunfan trying to TP out Malum, is going to throw out the Gust. Jones Sunfan is going to survive, but so is the Drow Ranger, surviving within inches of her life.
Oh, what the hell, Malum? That blink dagger purchase, getting into the trees, really brilliant, just thinking on his feet there. And he's going to go back into Roshan. If just somebody comes to tank it up for him, it's just go, oh, but blink Echo Slam, enchant totem, one more right click. No, he misses. Butterfly to the rescue. Payfin Strangers might still lose his own life here. One more right click. Never mind, he's stronger than you, Shaker. Oh my god, Malum. He's still alive, although another hero's coming in. It's Jonas and Fan this time around. No, run, Malum, run. There's the gush. Well,
Oh,
luck gave out on him in the end.
not fast enough to pop that BKB, and poor Jonas, or poor Malum. I mean, he still survives. Now Hex Doom onto Jonas Sunfan. Tidehunter's going to pay for his insolence, fighting up against the Drow Ranger, but it's definitely worth it. I mean, you kill off the enemy core, and it's going to be a lot of gold into Tidehunter's pockets. That should secure him, if not the refresher, very close to it. He's still a couple gold off, but that doesn't really matter for him. It's still a win, although Drow Ranger, that was a little ballsy. Probably shouldn't have stuck around there, but Malum feeling invincible. And after those 2 clean escapes, I mean, it happens.
It was really crazy still, I mean, how he escaped. Just the juking that he did in these trees here. I mean, Era was coming against Medusa from this side. Brewmaster came in from here, but Brewmaster, I don't know if the pathing screwed him over or something, but he started backing off quick though. He wanted to go in, got hexed out immediately. BKB there, gets the primal split as well. So he's going to disrupt the Roshan a little bit. Slash strike, he already backed off. Drow Ranger still dead as well. They're going to kill off one familiar from Era, or by Era, and Doombringer, there's nowhere to run all of a sudden. Can they really snatch the Roshan for themselves? It's Aegis and Cheese as well if they can do it.
They should. I don't see a way that HoG are going to be able to defend against this, but Slashstrike going to try his darndest. Jumps in a little too early, not able to steal the Aegis or the Roshan, but makes it away safely, so I mean, it's worth the shot, I suppose, just expecting them to take it faster. But right now, Medusa, despite having a lot of items, still isn't hitting that hard.
That's really the biggest issue with Medusa. I mean, you can do a lot of damage, but before you get the Rapier, it's not that crazy, really. I mean, Eye of Sky did a slow and everything is nice, and now there will be a Tidehunter double Ravage with the Refresher Orb, and of course that means double BKB as well for him. So that's a pretty huge deal, to be honest. But Faith in Strangers, slowly but surely working towards his own Refresher Orb as well on the Silencer. He's about 1.8k away from it, just a recipe's gold away. Brewmaster picks up a Boots of Travels even. I mean, they just have gold to spare, I guess. Although Boots of Travels, I'm not too sure if it was the best investment, unless like your entire team has it, or you really plan on split pushing, but Brewmaster not the best hero for that anyway. Maybe just something like an AC would have been better, just get the auras.
Right now, Era's chipping away at that tower, does have the cheese, and it's unlikely they'll be able to lock him down enough, and that's effectively a double life for Era. He is
Unless he
going
gets
to get
doomed.
his, yeah, unless he gets doomed. Right now, he is going to get his Lincolns popped, and still chipping away. Actually doesn't care about this tower. Misses uphill. It's going to be denied by the puck. No, Medusa gets that last hit, although only just. Aghanim Scepter now on the Doom. That double Doom is going to be pretty damning for Lions, especially if it opens up like the fight down in bottom.
So, I mean, cheese is definitely like a double life for Medusa. Maybe even a triple in a sense, if he pops it at the right time where he's completely out of mana and almost dies with HP as well. So, we'll see how well he can use it, and hopefully he's not going to get doomed for their sake, because, well, at least Medusa can still dish out a reasonable amount of right-click damage. He did finish up a Mad Dust style now, I think it was. So, still doesn't have any crazy damage, no Daedalus, no Rapier, no nothing. When will there be a point in this game where he needs a Rapier, or can he even farm up enough before that point comes?
We'll just have to see. Right now, it's... No. Not really in the cards for either team. Going high ground is still a pain. The advantage, although being 15,000 in the favor of House of Gamers, that actually doesn't matter. It's all about the teamfight ultimates, and at this point, it's whoever gets the jump on the other team. If they get a nice Ravage off and get the nice double Ravage, if Medusa's right-clicking throughout the entirety of that, they're going to kill one or two of the supporting cast, and without them, HoG have a lot harder time fighting without like a global ulti or, I don't know, just anybody taken out of the fight is really impactful for them. As for Lions, if they get doomed, especially on their Medusa or their Tidehunter, they're also kind of up the river and they can't do anything about it. So right now it's just kind of chill time. We wait until either team feels comfortable enough to make the move, and I think that's going to happen once somebody gets picked off. It's not going to rely really on any certain state in the game or any item in particular, but whether somebody gets caught in an awkward situation.
Well, at the moment, both teams are playing it rather safe. What's the buyback status? 4 for House of Gamers, the Doombringer, the only one not to have it because he went for the Aghanim Scepter. So Aghanim Scepter double ultimate, that's just way too ridiculous to go up against. There aren't enough Lincolns or anything on the side of Lions to deal with that, I think. But Visage also gonna finish up the AC pretty damn soon. He actually does have enough gold for it already, maybe just wants to save for buyback to be on the safe side. Puck, he's going for a Refresher Orb, I think, has the Ring of Help already, plus another 6.4k gold. Damn those Hand of Midases. Without those, it would be just probably Draw Ranger and Doom only having the farm, but Puck, Hand of Midas, just definitely was worth it. Now he sold it as well, I think. But he's gonna have enough for a buyback and refresher.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know. Slash Strike, this might not be a refresher. I don't know. He could buy it if he wants to, but it could also be a Lincoln Sphere. It's... I don't know. No, it's not going to be a Lincoln Sphere. I was thinking Puck was on Lion's side. Never mind. To deal with the Doom. Having an extra Lincolns on like the Brewmaster to drop an extra one on the Medusa, maybe blocking one of those Ag's Dooms could be clutch. But it is going to be that double ulti for the Puck. Double Scythe, double Heaven's Halberd even. All of these small utility items shouldn't be underestimated. If Slice Strike is fast on his fingers, which he should be, and be able to get them off, and it's going to be a long time where Medusa's pretty much out of the fight between getting that Lincoln Sphere pop, probably by an empty soul assumption coming out from the Visage, then you Halberd him, then you hex him. He might be able to Manta out of the Halberd, but then you can just instant hex, you can refresh, you can do it again. It's going to be really annoying, and since Medusa is so pivotal for Lions to get off their team fights, it could be a big problem. I think Slash Strike is one of the key players on HoG, as is the Doom. The other heroes are more there just to follow up. Silencer with his global ultimate to make sure that they don't get off their ultimates after the CC coming out from the Puck and Doom wears off, but it's all about that initial jump and whether that's actually going to happen. So I think these blinking Puck and Doom are the two heroes to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, they definitely are. Their abilities are just so crucial in teamfights. Of course, the same for Tide, but at the moment, Aegis has expired. Nothing was done with it. AC is going to be finished on the Brewmaster as soon as he has enough gold for a buyback and the item both. Needs a little bit more for that, of course, since everybody's rather high level already. Although still nobody has reached level 25. A little bit surprising, to be honest, the Medusa also keeping up with the Midas career. So Minera, he has been doing a pretty nice job in this game, to be honest. But House of Gamers just... their heroes feel that much scarier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a point where either team's comfortable fighting into them. Both teams have fairly even late game potential. Era does more spread damage, but also is easier focused down by HoG, and without that spread damage coming out from the Medusa, they can't fight. And then Medusa, although Dro doesn't do spread damage by herself, she's also giving that damage word to everybody else on our team. So they kind of function in a similar sense. Dro Ranger's now going to commit to the Monkey King bar, making sure that Medusa doesn't get any benefit from going for Butterfly if that is her last item choice. But honestly, this game, Era might feel cornered into going for a Divine Rapier, and honestly, I don't think that's a terrible choice, but up against a Doom, that's incredibly risky, and maybe it's just going to be more damage coming out from Era if she doesn't want to commit for the Butterfly. Maybe just go for a Daedalus to hope to get off those hits.
I think it might be worth it, just you need to be able to kill somebody off. I mean, spread damage is all well and good, but if you bring everybody low but you can't kill anybody off them, it doesn't matter at all. Whereas Malum, he's gone for a Monkey King bar, so even if you go for the Butterfly, the Dro Ranger is still going to be able to damage you anyway. So I would be on board with just going for the Daedalus or any kind of damage, maybe even Rapier, although I don't think it's really that desperate quite yet, since we haven't even lost a single tier 3. Oh, never mind, mid-tier 3 is down, but it's been down for quite some time already, but the Raxes just haven't taken any damage at all.
Yeah. That was when the Medusa was, I don't know, chipping on end mid. She still hasn't used that cheese. Like, that push was pretty much uncontested. At this point, tier 3s don't matter. It's all about the racks, and really it's all about the melee barracks as well. Ranged barracks also are pretty negligible at this point. Even if you get one full lane down, or even two full lanes, both teams, especially Lions, are very well equipped to deal with that. It's currently Lions to put the pressure onto HoG, but breaking high ground is another story entirely, and you still have Visage and Doom farming on the other side of the map. They're not really missing out on anything, even though the lane's pushed up to their T3.
It's epic farm fest time. Doom still has one slot, man. Tranquil Boots and Foods of Travels. Don't really need the Tranquil Boots anymore. At some point, I guess you can sell the Blink as well, although having the Blink just kind of a surprise factor at the initiation for them. So I think he wants to keep on to the Blink as long as he can. But replacing the Tranquil Boots, what would even be a good item for him? Does he just tank up now, or does he go for a Hex of his own, maybe?
I'd say go for a Hex of your own. I think it's just too good of an item to really pass up. He could also just, like, mega tank and get a heart. I think either of those paths have their merits, but I'd prefer Scythe.
I think it's good as well. I mean, double Scythe as well, just double Scythe, double Doom. That hero can just pretty much take out the entire team for at least some period of the fight by himself. Oh man, that would be so ridiculous. He can just even use the Hexes to pop Lincolns just to make sure he can Doom.
I mean, that's probably the smartest way to go about it, because Medusa, level death is just such a long cast animation. There's time for the other heroes to react, force staff the Medusa out, get her out of range of the Doom, just kite him around. But if you have that instant way to pop the Lincolns and you can find that opening, I think it's worth it. It's just going to make him so much scarier than a heart, because honestly, the extra HP doesn't really do that much for you at this point. If you're locked down and CC'd, you're going to die either way. So I think you just want to be the one to get the jump first.
Malum might be in some trouble. Blink, Echo Slam, huge! Malum down to half HP. There's Ravish number 1 as well. Primal Split was used, although in the end wasn't really necessary, man. The Echo Slam did all the damage. So that's the kill and throw when he doesn't have buyback.
Well, okay, so this game just got blown completely on its head. It's 300 gold away. That stinks. He's had, like, no reliable gold throughout this game, since all of his gold is from farming creeps, 463 last hits. But yeah, that's terrible. Lions, they might expect Dro to have buyback, but I think they should at least try, although they're going to be a little bit hesitant since they don't have all of their ultimates available, and they can still lose a fight, but it's that much easier for them. The damage coming out from HoG just got cut in less than half. On the backline's Doom, thrown the way of Jonas Sunfan. Now with the Familiars, he's gonna fall. This is Tidehunter down, and Tidehunter does have buyback, but that might just be the push down. They're going to get the range barracks in mid, looking for the melee. Era's focusing down. Global Silence looking for the Doom. Era's going to be doomed, but gets the melee barracks before going. Double global ulti going to be committed. Those stacks that are ripping through the mana of Era are starting to get up. Refresher from the puck, getting off the Dream Coil now, looking for the Scythe. Era's out of mana and is going to be focused down. Does have the cheese, however, isn't able to pop it. He's going to die. He does have buyback, however. It's not over, but now Bland being chased by the Doom as well as the puck. It's going to be Slash Strike on a mega kill. In the end, it's a 4 for Rax trade, which at this point in the game probably isn't worth it. They're going to be forced to use buybacks.
Well, at least House of Gamers, they're completely out of ultimates now. They used the double Doom, they used the double Global Silence as well, and even the double Dream Coil and well, everything the puck had. So if they buy back now and win a fight, they can maybe force out the buybacks in return, although they probably can't win a fight themselves now after this. It's such a delicate situation, and the double Doom definitely paying off. First of all, ensuring the kill on Tidehunter, then making it so that Era is completely useless. And suddenly Drow, he purchases up a full Satanic as well. So that's going to be another Roshan now. Buybacks already coming in, but they're not going to be able to reach Roshan at least. They might get Doombringer though if you can throw him up in the air. There's no BKB on him. The Shiva's card though, the slow is enough, and he escapes the Primal Split.
Alright, so that's going to be Cheese going the way of your Silencer and Aegis going the way of the Drow. It's still anybody's game. As I was saying earlier, one set of racks doesn't do it. It's an advantage for Alliance to be sure, but it's not the end-all be-all. If this was 20 minutes in, maybe that's it. But here, it actually doesn't matter. These heroes do plenty of damage to kill off these mega creeps and keep the lanes pushed out, which is really the advantage that you get from getting racks. So, I don't know, it's going to be a nuisance for House of Gamers, but still, it's negligible. Whenever all of the ultimates are off of cooldown, neither team wants to take a fight, because we saw both teams, they found the pickoffs. Invis Rune on Joe Ranger, going to open up into Bland, Silence, trying to focus him down, but the 4-step away, Malum's in a bit of a precarious situation, but not as bad as the Earthshaker. The rest of his team just kind of left him for dead, and that's Earthshaker without buyback, already spent it earlier on. It's going to be a BKB for Era, and I despise this choice, but I might not have enough time to talk about it, as it looks like House of Gamers, they're going to go for a push. They know that Echo Slam is not available for a minute.
The BKB, I mean, I'm not too sure what it's supposed to accomplish here. If you get doomed, you get doomed anyway, and you can't use the spells, and that's about it. I'm not too sure. Maybe he thinks there's not enough physical damage on House of Gamers, which definitely isn't true, especially if Malam is alive. And there's the Shiva's card, the Doom to Chonosophan. His BKB did nothing as well. Global Silence, number 1. I don't think they have number 2 yet anyway. Yeah, still for another 30 seconds, but this should be just easy racks, I think.
Yeah, they're going to type the rack score. Medusa ultimate being spent. Melee Barracks is still not down. Surviving on 20 HP, now focusing into Malum. Nobody's able to kill this off. Where are the Visage Familiars to do this in? Silence for Malum doesn't matter. Kix is able to drop him down. Misses just aren't there for the Drow. Now coming back, trying to escape out of here. Does have the Black King bar off, or on cooldown, so can't do anything. Doesn't even get the chance to pop the Satanic. Melee Barracks do fall after all is said and done, but now it's Drow Ranger's turn to buy back if this happens. The drawings on the map are pretty clear. Coming out from purple, Brewmaster wants to take revenge and maybe go for a second lane.
Yeah, and Lions, they know that there will be only one Doom as well as one Global Silence if they want to pop them at all, because both of those abilities were used for that fight that just happened. So they're gonna have the Refresher Orbs, but that's about it. So no double things to worry about. Tidehunter just has to make sure that he doesn't get doomed so he can get off his double Ravage. If he does, they might be able to just win a fight, have them buyback, and Doombringer, he doesn't even have a buyback, and neither does the Silencer. Drow does use his already, so Lions now, it's really a delicate balance about where they go and if they can just take a fight at all.
Puck buyback also forced out. Era is pushing up top, trying to do as much damage as possible, but with no Aegis, he's going to get Dream Coiled up. He does have the BKB, going to pop it. I suppose BKB is kind of nice about that, but after using the BKB, he's going to be silenced. That's the only global they have for this fight, however. The Refresher was forced out because of it, and I suppose push is repelled. Still, this game lies on a razor's edge. If either team takes a convincing fight, where the enemy team doesn't have buybacks, the enemy team is screwed. Right now, 4 minutes till Medusa has hers, 6.5 till Drow and Puck.
I mean, the BKB on Medusa just does absolutely nothing almost.
Yeah.
I guess he can pop the BKB and round it out the Dream Coil, but oh, the smoke is there, Chonosophan. Oh, the first Ravage completely whiffs Refresher Orb. Second Ravage is pretty damn nice, connects on everybody. And they might even get the kills. Blink Echo Slam as well onto the Silencer as well as the Doombringer, but the damage, they're not focusing on the Doom, and Era, he's going to get doomed up in return, but doesn't even matter. Refresher Orb on Doombringer, pops the Shiva's card, has the second ultimate. Who's he going to use it on? He's waiting for the Era, completely out of mana, no buyback anymore. He goes down, as does the Tidehunter, who has buyback, but Quicks hexed up from Slash Strike. Malam goes in with the right clicks. Brewmaster pretty damn tanky, but not against 5 enemy heroes. And now Solan most likely will lose his life on the Dazzle Man. That first Ravage just completely screwed him over.
Yeah, really, and even after the first Ravage, I think the BKB choice coming out from Era is even worse. They just couldn't do the damage. Everybody dropped to about half health, but half health doesn't matter. Blink Dagger again going to be purchased by the Drill Ranger, just kind of, I don't know, casually buying another one out of the base. But yeah, I don't know, it felt like if there was a Daedalus in that fight, they had a chance, but with no Daedalus, and with the first Ravage doing literally nothing, landing onto the trees, and that's about it, they can't do anything. Puck buys himself a Vladimir's Offering, and this is the go time for them. They can end the game now. There's a minute with no Brewmaster, without Medusa, without the Dazzle, and it's only an Earthshaker and Tidetender both without their ultimates. What do they care? They can go for tier 4s, go for Throne.
There goes the Radiant.
That's exactly what they're gonna do as well. Let them with the Familiars helping out. Precision Aura is coming out as well, man. The Familiars do so much damage. One is gonna go scout as well just in case, and most likely also gamers, they will take the first win of their just tournament life here.
And it was a pretty good win too. Like, I knew they had it in them. Like, this was a really good game coming out from both sides. I'm excited for game number 2, and we'll have to see if it's at the same caliber as the play here, but there was just a couple of key mistakes that cost each team the fight, and in the end, it's going to be Lions to make the fatal one where they just lose that one fight. Thanks for watching. We've been here on HeflaTV Hitbox 2. I'm Grandis V. He's been Coucher. You can find us on our social media at the respective sites under those names. But we'll have game number 2 coming up shortly, so don't go anywhere.